Wake up, my brother, from a different universe. How are you?
Christ has risen.
Okay, guys. So on today's episode, first of all, welcome to another episode of my podcast. Appreciate all you guys listening. I've got Charles back on because me and Charles get into deep conversations, and the last time we did, you guys really enjoyed it. And Charles at the minute is in lockdown in Australia, and I kind of want to know, number one, how he is, number two, how people are getting on over there, how they're coping, because the script has flipped in the sense of it was the other way around, right? And now I've been pretty lucky. I've kind of seen the both, or maybe I manifested it, you know.
Let's just keep throwing out that word manifestation.
How are you, brother?
Bro, first of all, just wanted to say, man, I'm very excited to be here, to talk to you, bro. I loved our last chat that we had. I loved the last podcast. I got so much feedback from everyone that was listening. So many people messaging me afterwards, and a lot of people actually asking me for mushrooms afterwards, which was pretty interesting. You
know, I got into, Instagram like shadow banned me or some shit after that. You know, when I posted that video.
Yeah.
Because it's it's a drug, right? Well, legally it's a drug, right? So, but obviously, a lot of people use it for wrong reasons, whereas we were actually expressing a crazy spiritual journey that has obviously helped both of us within what we do, our growth as humans, and in essence it's made me a better person, man.
Yeah, that's it, bro. I second to that, bro. My experiences with that have really excelled my growth and understanding myself a lot more and having a lot more love and empathy for myself. But I just thought it was funny how, So anyway, for everyone listening, very happy to be back here on the Deer and Cartel show and to share some space with him and connect with him. And just to really share our message to everyone out there listening. And so yeah, bro, it's great to be here, man.
Good. And just to confirm, he's not a drug dealer.
No, with a wink.
So, bro, how since we last spoke, since I last saw you, I've been meditating every day. Not yesterday, the day before, I actually did a 45-minute, an hour visualization one, which was pretty cool. Like a guided one, which was pretty sick. How have you been since the madness has started? Since I last saw you, how you been?
Yeah, cool, bro. Let's catch up. So, it's been a very interesting period that I've been going through. Definitely been some highs, definitely been some lows, which is all part of the human experience here, which is all part of how energy vibrates. It goes on an up and down continuum. So I can only realistically expect for myself that I am going to go through some periods of some lows, which I'm happy to talk about. Some of the lows that I've experienced have definitely been some old programming from my childhood, such as scarcity. So this business that I've put a lot of energy and love into in Bondi, it hasn't been operational. It's a health studio, so that's been challenging navigating that. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's allowed me to branch out more online, which is something that I've always wanted to do, and something, Darren, you've been really supportive with me and given me a lot of advice and understanding with that stuff. So that's actually, there's been a lot of growth and acceleration in that area. And also downs in regards to just lockdown in general. Part of what I love to do is I love to connect with people. I love to do the drums. I love to see my family regularly. I love to see my dogs. I love to, go out in nature and explore and go camping and hang out with mates. That's something that I really love to do. And that's something that I haven't been able to do as much due to the lockdown. So therefore, it has been a bit tough not having those things that I would regularly do that would boost up my mood naturally and just bring me back into balance. And there's also been a down just in regards to there has been a fair bit of, from what I'm seeing, a bit of a divide happening now amongst people. A lot of people judging each other. A lot of people kind of reflecting out their internal experience onto other people
within the communities.
Yeah, within the community. Yeah, so there's been there's been a lot of people, like, either depending on what side of this whole narrative you're on, there's just been a lot of hate in regards to each other from that, and that's what I've been seeing. And the reason why it's made me feel a bit down is just because whenever there's a separation within society, even though there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of them since the beginning of our evolution, we all were tribal animals, and we all started off in smaller groups of about 200. And the way that we increased our odds of survival was to know the difference between an us and a them, and our culture and our language and our religion, and these are our beliefs, and this is the type of foods that we eat, this is the dances that we do, the music that we play. It helped to gain some type of understanding with that, but it also creates a separation. Now the separation has been a bit concerning for me. So since then,
we're social animals, you know what I mean? So because we're social animals, and people like myself and you, I've seen you about in Bondi. Everyone knows you there. Do you know what I mean? And you're the sort of person that gives time to people and talks to them and is very much amongst the community there. So I assumed it would be quite tough for you, but for some people, do you think it's what do you think they're finding challenging the most within? Is it the fact that they can't go out for a beer, or the fact that they don't know what to do with not being able to do nothing? Because it's hard being able to not to do nothing, right? At least you can cope with, I don't know, whether it's meditating, being more mindful, connecting with people. Even this is a level of connection, right? How are you finding that?
Yeah, I'm definitely finding myself going more internal now, which is, you hear about a lot of those like all those monks and like hermits and all those like gurus and shit. Like a lot of the time when they'd gain a lot of their spiritual awakenings is when they'd go out in isolation and they'd go spend time in the mountains, in caves and shit. And as a result of like not having the general day-to-day things that they would use that would give them those comforts, they were more open to going internal. And by going internal, they started feeling a lot more and started answering a lot of questions from within. So through the first lockdown was served me very well in regards to learning a lot about myself and conquering a lot of my own personal fears. And it's really what started paving the way for me to get into this whole depth of this work that I'm doing now with coaching people on a much deeper level and helping them with their trauma. So I can only say that this one is only going to excel me even more. So all this pain that I feel, all this discomfort, all this confusion, all this, if there's any fear that comes up of, what's going to happen to my business, this and that, conquering that is only going to make me a better person.
100%. Do you feel like when you're helping, first of all, can you let everyone know how the lockdown, what is the lockdown at the minute? Is it you can't see anyone? Is it a 5 kilometer radius? What's the lockdown currently in Australia?
Yeah. It's different depending on what area of Australia you're in. First of all, in New South Wales, some areas of New South Wales are a lot more strict than others. The area that I'm in, it's a 5 kilometer radius. You can't have anyone over your house. If you're outside, you can only be with one person. There's like police regularly walking around checking identifications. There's police checkpoints as well. They've got military on the streets in certain areas as well. That's going like door knocking and ensuring like people are staying at home. There's helicopters regularly floating around. You got to check in everywhere. And so just from my understanding, because I don't watch the news too much, that's the current lockdown situation right now. In certain areas, you have to wear a mask as soon as you leave the house. It's a lot more strict in that way when you're from out west. So that's where I grew up. Over there, it's under strict lockdown. If you want to leave that area only for work, you can only leave that area for work, and it's only like essential work. You have to have either a vaccine or you have to have had a negative test recently. So from my understanding, that's kind of where we're at right now. And how many days has it been? I don't even know how many days it's been. You know, you just get to that point where you don't even know what day it
You
is.
don't, that was the same as me when we were going through lockdown in the UK. I was just like, I don't care. I'm just cracking on. Like, because you can't focus on that too much. You put all your energy into 100%. That, you get drained. And for people that don't understand, because on the last episode we spoke about like my experience quite a lot and how we both with the psychedelics and all that stuff. How would you explain energy to people? How would you define it in a way that a lot of people would understand? Because I think sometimes when we meet people, when we you feel that energy, right? You and me connected straight away, pretty much. You just knew, you know what I mean? When we first met in George Street, like years ago, definitely. Right? So you just had that connection, right? And some people get that connection, but I don't think they fully understand what it is. I know it's energy. Could you define that and tell that? How would you explain that to people?
Good question, bro. All right. Energy. How would I explain energy? Okay. First of all, energy is everything. Everything that you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, everything that your senses pick up, even all the stuff that your senses don't pick up, because there's a lot of animals out there that have different senses that can pick up other bits of energy. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that we can't even perceive out there. There's like all these different dimensions, and your brain kind of opens up to it when you take psychedelics. Sometimes you can start seeing different things. Basically, energy is everywhere. It's and if we are to go that deep with it, like if I am to, you know, hold this cup of water over here, over here we can see a cup, it's made out of glass, and over here we have water. Now, if we were to go deeper right into it, we're going to see that there's all these molecules there, all these different atoms, all these different particles. If we go even deeper than that, deeper, what are we going to see? We're going to see electric vibrational frequency. That's what it all comes down to. So everything is, when you go that deep with it, it's energy. That's what it is. Now, the way energy works, I
love listening to you when you talk about this shit.
Okay. The way energy works is it works as a vibrational frequency. So vibration means it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. That's a polarity. So everything that's small, all these molecules, it's like little buzzing up and downs going constantly forever. Okay. And then the more you branch out, like this cup in itself, it's got like billions of different molecules in it, but then overall it's vibrating up and down. I mean, you can even see it when it's going like that.
Yeah.
Energy,
brat.
And then if we are to expand it even more, you see it through every single part of life. Night and day, hot and cold, summer and winter. You know, you go to sleep, you wake up. You get hungry, you're not hungry. You consume food, it gets digested, and then you poo, and then it goes back into the earth. The nutrients go there, then it grows more plants, and then you eat that. It's just like this constant cycle. The sun's putting energy onto the earth then creates plants, and then the animals eat the plants. So the energy from the sun is in everything on earth. All the animals, all of us, it's all the energy made up from the universe. So everything is energy. Energy is always going up and down. And up and down continuously creates a frequency. Bro, you see when you're recording this podcast?
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's like a line of
the
vibration
sounds
that you can hear. That's right.
Yeah.
Brother, that's what everything is. That's what everything is.
and the best thing is, if you can't see it, man, you can feel it. You know, right. and like my relationship with, for you guys that don't know, I've got a client called Scott. He can't see, he's actually blind, and me and him connect so well, and we connected straight away. And he's just like proof that when someone is around that's a negative prick, right? He knows. he knows. And when there's good vibes, you know, like when you would walk past in the gym when I was training him, he'll be like, oh, it's good energy. Like, and you can see that, you can hear it from someone's voice, or the way they stand, or the way they move, the way they walk with their chin up, you know. And I think it's one of the most important things in life, to be able to see this, assess it, as well as managing your energy into the right places for eternal happiness, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, brother. Nothing but agree with what you're saying, bro. And just to talk a little bit more about energy and how to manage it. So both ends of the spectrum of energy, it's been described by multiple different cultures on Earth. You know, you've got the Eastern philosophies talking about the yin and the yang, and more Western philosophies would label it as the masculine and the feminine energy. And both states of those energies, they have like different roles within nature and within us as well. So the masculine energy within us is going to be the doing, the planning, the structure, the order, and the thinking, the logic. And then the feminine energy is going to be the emotion, the expression, the being, the going with the flow, the whatever happens, happens, the chaos.
Just to confirm a little bit more about that, because I think that topic itself is really fascinating to me, right? Because I meet a lot of girls with masculine energy, right? And then you can meet the guys with the opposite as well. So when you're talking about this, it doesn't necessarily have to be a male or a female or he, she, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to say these days, bruv. I'm not gonna lie, bruv. I don't know what I don't know what to say, bruv.
Stop offending people.
How would you describe that in a way where could you have both? Can I have both? I feel like I'm very masculine, but there's times where I've got feminine. And like, can you elaborate a little bit about that for the people that don't know? Because I know there's going to be a lot of people listening to this thinking, fuck, what's that?
Yeah. All right, cool. So good question. Every single thing in this universe has masculine and feminine energy. The sun has masculine and feminine energy. Okay, the ocean has masculine and feminine energy. The ocean, you go there one day, it's a raging, soaring ocean, crashing big waves, high tide. Another day you go there, it's calm, it's still, it's chill, it looks like a lake. Okay, same thing with us. Sometimes we're in a state of masculine energy, which is not exclusive to men. It is not exclusive to men. And sometimes we are in a state of feminine energy, which is not exclusive to females. Every single human being listening to this right now, you operate in states of both masculine and feminine energy. And you know what? You are right in saying that from my perspective, a lot of the women I work with are women that are heavy in their masculine energy. They're very heavy in their doing. They're very heavy in their structure. They're very heavy in their thinking mind. A lot of them actually struggle to let go. A lot of them struggle to go with the flow. A lot of them struggle to embrace what's called their divine feminine. Embrace their feminine energy, like a healthy feminine energy.
What's the divine feminine? What's that?
So divine feminine would be you in your feminine energy, and it's just like it's serving you so well.
Okay.
It's like for a woman to be in her feminine energy, she has the ability to be able to let go with the flow, like express her emotion, be the nurturing, empathetic, kind, understanding, compassionate being of which she is, which serves her so well biologically, because females throughout evolution were more of the nurturers and the caretakers of the families, while the men went out to hunt. Yeah. They went out to fight. They went out to hunt. They went out to tackle all these big mammoths and big beasts and protect the tribe when another tribe would come in with all these spears and swords and that. The men will all come up and be like, all right, we got to get into our doing. We got to think logically. We got to get tactical. We got to set up a structure. Okay. We got to build this house. Okay. We got to chop down this wood. We got to use our, denser bones and more muscle tissue in order to do this. And we got to get into our structure and our planning. And at the same end of the spectrum, there's a lot of men who are heavy in their feminine energy, very heavy in their feminine energy as well. They struggle to like, a lot of men, they wake up, they don't know what they're doing with their life. They don't have that structure. They don't have that order.
We've had a lot of clients like that.
Oh, there you go.
Right? We've had a lot of clients like that because they struggle to find like their purpose. And sometimes it's very difficult for people to find their purpose as well. It's like they're focusing on other guys and going, why am I not like this man? Why am I not a man's man? And do you feel like from an evolutionary standpoint, that was the case, right? Now in the Western world and how we've evolved, you know, obviously women working, men working, stay-at-home dads and all of this shit, which is probably very crazy to my ancestors.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Yeah, because they literally come from mountains. So what you were explaining was pretty much like the way my granddad lived. Do you know what I mean? And to a certain extent, my mum was home. My mum started working later on after she worked in Istanbul, but once she had the kids, they were like, I want to stay at home, I want to look after the kids and all that stuff. Do you feel like a lot of people struggle to accept to do that, even if they want to do that, because it is like they want to be opposite to the norm? Not the norm, but I'm trying to explain this in a very non-offensive way, bruv.
I could see
you understand what I'm trying to say? So like, yeah, you can see it, but I'm failing.
I'm sure those people aren't really listening to your podcast anyway, bro.
Do you think like because when I see some couples, right, I see feminine energy, masculine energy, and I see the feminine with the male and I see the masculine with the female. And do you think that's like a good balance, or do you reckon the two could connect? I love talking about this shit, bro. It's so fascinating to me.
Cool. So generally if a woman is very dominant in her masculine energy, she is going to attract a guy who's very dominant in his feminine energy. Because if you got a woman who's very dominant in her masculine energy and she doesn't want to change that, she's not flexible with changing that, then if she meets a guy heavy in his masculine, they're only just going to butt heads, because, you know, the way energy works, everything works as a yin and a yang. And when you got a relationship connecting together, you got two forms of energy coming together to create harmony. And if they're not creating harmony amongst each other, well, then it's going to be in a state where, you know, it's going to be a bit chaotic, and you're going to find where there's going to be situations where the man's going to want to take control and be like, you know, I think we should do this and do that. And then the woman may not let go, and she's going to be like, no, I want to do this and I want to do that. Like from my perspective, the way that a relationship, for it to be healthy, you're not going to have one person dominant in one energy the whole time. They're both going to flow in and out of the other one. So for example, you know, there's going to be a time where in a relationship, I'll give control to the woman. Okay, what movie do you want to watch? You can pick the movie that you want to watch. You can order what food that you want to eat. Yeah, I want to eat this. I want to watch this movie. Cool. Yep, you've got full control over that. Then there's going to be a time where I'm going to want to pick what movie we watch and what food that we eat. Now, this is something really simple, but
no, I get
it goes into every other component of our life, like what school we send our kids, how we communicate with the children, you know, like us taking responsibility, taking days where, okay, I take care of the kids. I'm going to organize a date, whatever it is. Even in the bedroom, that's a huge component of it, because when you're engaging in sexual intercourse, it's energy play.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
One of the individuals is going to be more submissive. One's going to be more dominant. And, you know, I've engaged in lots of different sexual relationships where I was very dominant in just one. Like for the whole time, I was just dominant all the time. And it got to a point where the girl's like, hey, like, let's mix it up a bit and try new things. And I was like, okay. And then, you know, there was periods where she would take the lead more, and, you know, I would just let go. And, you know, it's just fun exploring energy in that way. Otherwise, there may be some complications.
I hear you, bruv. From a sexual standpoint, when a female is dominant, bruv, I bust quick.
I like it too, bro. Honestly, I like it too. It's fun.
You know what? You know why though? Sometimes, remember that time on the cliff edge where a man was vulnerable?
Yes. So you had to let go then, bro.
Bro, and it's nice. You know what I mean? And it's,
you know
nice.
why? Because energy's fun, bro.
Yeah, it's fun, bro. It's fun. And I think you're right. It's very important. How about this though? Do you think some people get carried away with power? And I'm only saying this because, like, I've had relationships where I was too nice, bruv. And I felt like people took advantage of my niceness and tried to overpower certain situations, even make me feel bad with things that make me feel guilty for very silly things, like even chatting to another female. I feel like I did something wrong, and I didn't, and I was just being me, right? And do you feel like sometimes people can, is the word power trip? Yeah. You know, do you feel like people can get carried away with that?
I definitely feel like people can become very heavy in running certain programming. Now, in that context, it could be the program of judgment, them judging you because you have done something that they are perceiving to be wrong. Now, from their programming, because of their childhood, every time they did something wrong, they were judged for it. And they were judged for it because their parents had a positive intention of, if I judge you, that's going to teach you not to do it again. So what they're doing is their childhood programming that they learn through their relationships as a young child. Because when you're young, that's when you're forming your subconscious mind and understanding how to give and receive love and how like relationship dynamics work. So when you get in your own relationship when you're older and you haven't done much work on healing a lot of that trauma and emotional pain that you've experienced when you were young, that made you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm getting judged as a child. Well, then you're going to replicate the same experience, so that when you're in a relationship with, a guy, if you're a girl if you're a guy, whatever, and someone does something that you're perceiving as wrong, rather than coming forward and being like, this is how I felt going through that experience, and just having like an open dialogue, and you being like, okay, well, what did you think was wrong about that? Well, I saw you talking to another girl and I got a little bit jealous. Why did you feel jealous? Well, because I got a bit insecure about myself. Yeah, I can see how you would get insecure about yourself by me looking at another girl, but is thinking that way helping you, and is it helping our relationship? No, it's not actually, because, and then it's like, well, the truth is, I do love you. Can you see that? Yeah, it is. Is it healthy for me to have communication with other people of the opposite sex? Yes, it is. Is that realistic? Yes. Like just having just a proper conversation about it, rather than like, I judge you, and that's going to teach you a lesson that you shouldn't do it again.
Yeah, that's it. No, I completely agree. And I think childhood, yes, I think it's important, but I also think past relationships fuck things up.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason why that they fuck things up, because you got your childhood. That's when you're forming your programming.
Yeah,
that's like that's when you're forming your subconscious minds. Ages of 0 to 8. You're vulnerable. You got no idea what the world is. You're just trying to like build your brain to be like, okay, this means this. Don't touch hot surfaces. If a snake bites me, it might kill me. Like, you're trying to understand the world very quickly and rapidly. Now, because your brain is formed by that point, anytime you got to go in there and work and change it, you got to do it so consciously, and that's when you got to go and do therapy and do coaching. It's all the stuff that I do now. So what it does is you can keep replicating the same experience over and over again. You keep attracting the same type of people in relationships and recreating the same type of experience and treating them the same way and getting the same result. And as a result of that, if you're a girl who's dating guys and you're judging guys and, recreating that whole experience, and they're breaking up and it's going to shit, you can create the belief that guys are just shit.
Yeah. Instead of asking yourself, going, what am I doing wrong? Because you know what? Yeah. When I argue with someone, right? If I upset someone, I go, okay, this person is angry. I've done something to piss this person off. Instead of being defensive, I need to hold and ask myself, okay, then what did you do to trigger this emotion from this person? And I think that's such an important thing when it comes to growth with relationships, friendships, and especially family. There's been loads of times where I've pissed my dad off and I've gone, Dad, relax, I was joking. Or Dad, what are you talking about? Like, relax. But then I've like, hold on a second. I'm 24 years old. This guy's nearly 50. There's an element of respect I must have crossed. Where did I do that? You got to ask yourself that. And I feel like people don't do that enough. Then they avoid conversations, which then builds up this madness and then eventually kind of explodes. The only reason I know this is because it happened to me. Do you know what I mean?
I completely understand. I used to go through a lot of that myself as well. And, in that sort of situation too, I think it is very important to just create some space between the trigger, like the emotional trigger that occurred, create some space and take some time with what I like to call compassionately inquiring. Okay. That's when you're going to inquire compassionately with yourself, which is what you just said that you did then. Like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's going to help you to compassionately inquire about trying to understand why they would have gotten upset. But it's also important for you to compassionately inquire about why you're getting upset about them getting upset, if you are getting upset about that. Okay, because this is a very interesting component of it too, and this is the big reason why some people don't engage in these type of conversations, because of a program called people pleasing. People pleasing is when you're trying to control how people feel about you, how people perceive you, and as a result of that, when people get upset about you, you go, fuck, okay, I must have triggered something, I shouldn't have done that, that's not good, blah 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 blah, and then you'll take it upon yourself when that emotion is their responsibility to deal with. It's not your responsibility.
And then what happens? You kind of create anxiety on yourself on your own. It's like your own creation, So
we create everything.
Yeah, we create everything, right? And when you create that anxiety, it builds up more and more and more and more. And then you think, again, you get to a point again where you explode because you're avoiding kind of being your actual self and creating this persona to please someone else, which then ends up with you being so unhappy. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
And it's again, I'm saying this because I've experienced a part of it, like, and I saw it happen. You saw me fly like a butterfly. Do you know what I mean?
I saw the whole transition.
You saw the whole transition, bro. Now I went from getting engaged to walking away to literally living my fucking best life and open up. But the mad thing was that for me personally, like, and again, I can only talk about these things with people that I'm close to, and like someone like yourself that understands all this stuff, right? Because it's not about getting away and slamming pussy, blood. Do you know what I mean? It's not. No. And I'm saying it from because I think a lot of females that listen to this that have gone through heartache, that have gone through breakups and whatnot, I don't think they fully understand sometimes from, say, a male's perspective. It's the element of being free and not having to worry about someone else, most importantly having to please someone else, which is a trap that we've all kind of been in, right? And then you realize what it's like not to be like that, and you can fulfill whatever dreams that you want. And I feel like in today's day and age, what a lot of people do, what I did when I was younger, was you can't rely your happiness on someone else, like if I was on my own all day today, I'm going to make sure I'm having a good time. I can't attach myself to someone or something to make sure I'm having a good time. And I feel like once you understand that and learn that, then you end up with the mentality of never having to please anyone. So whoever you end up chilling with or whoever you end up mating with is, it just works out way better. Do you agree? I don't know. I could be.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So from my understanding, what you're saying is that the more you don't attach yourself to your happiness to how other people feel, and you taking full responsibility of your own emotions, the happier you're going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I know sometimes like I'm sure you've had clients like this as well. I had a lot on the gym floor. Is that I've got the missus. I can't. I've got the kids. I can't. Everything is I can't, instead of how can I do this to solve this issue, And obviously
Are you talking about in regards to health?
In regards to anything.
Yeah, okay.
It could be health. It could be happiness. It could be a new job. It could be it could be anything, you know, like how many times have you heard, let's just say one of the PTs in our gym that we used to work with, no names, just someone random going,
yeah,
I can't do that. Like,
it's funny because I know exactly who you're talking about. Oh my God.
All right. When he listens to this, he's gonna know too.
We love you, bro. We love you.
We love you, bro.
So when people are when people are saying that sort of stuff, what's your question?
My question is, what would you advise someone that is that sort of, where everything's I can't, even if they want to, you know?
All right, cool. Good question. So first of all, I can't. Let's just dissect that type of language. That's you're attaching something to your identity, which you're believing that you cannot do whatever is after that, which is incredibly limiting. Now, it may serve me to say certain things and attach it to my identity that I can't, that serve me. Like, I can't fly all the way up to the moon and jump around and do 10 push-ups and then fly back. I can't do that. Saying that serves me because from my understanding currently in this physical form, it's not something that I can do. But when you got something that you want to do, not something that you need to do, not something that you should do, but something that you want to do. Think about it. Something that you want to do is something that fucking inspires your soul. It's something that has so much meaning to it that when you do it, it's like, you feel this amazing emotional release in your whole body. It's like, wow, like I'm living my purpose. I'm doing what I want to do. And you know what? Even if you did it and it wasn't something that was serving you, you learned from it. And that taught you how to grow and adapt and evolve and overcome different things. So when you say I can't before something that you want to do, my perspective is that you're using I can't as a coping mechanism as to why you can't do it. You're lying to yourself saying that you can't just so you can dismiss the real reason why you're not doing it. Just so you can dismiss, just by saying, it's like people say it all the time, I can't lose weight. I just can't lose weight. And the reason why they say it is because they don't want to think about the fact that they fear failure so much. Every time they walk into a gym, they're comparing themselves to other people. Every time they start a diet, they're thinking about how they're going to fail it in 6 weeks' time. And they're thinking about how emotionally painful that's going to be. That's and then it's like going deeper with that. Why do they fear failure so much? Why are they putting so much pressure on themselves and high expectations? Where does that come from? Then it goes into childhood, because when you were young, your parents used to put a lot of pressure on you. You got to get straight A's. You got to be the best, be the best, be the best. And you as a child, you hearing that made you feel like, fuck, was there something wrong with me now? Like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough now. Like you can't accept me the way I am now. Like, is this love conditional? And then, and then you just keep repeating that process until you're an adult, and it reflects itself out into different parts of your life. But because when you're a kid and you're getting programmed in that way and it's painful, it's the pain that we don't want to face. It's the pain that instead of facing, we'd rather say, I can't.
Yeah. You avoid the struggle, basically. You avoid the struggle, which again, doesn't really resolve anything, And it's funny, like with the word, like I can't, right? I find it hard to say, because even like I was having a conversation with someone the other day about tennis, right? This person's played decent level tennis, right? And I'm like, I'll beat you, bro. I'll win. I've never played a tennis game in my life. I've never even held a racket like that. They're like, what? Have you even played tennis? I'm like, don't worry, I will win.
as long as you win here, bro, that's all that matters.
And you know what? And I feel like that sort of mindset, even if you fail at it, at least you can go into other things in your life where you have that skill set. You'll you will do okay, you know?
That's right.
I remember watching like, you know, like guys like Michael Jordan, Kanye West, these guys, like, they inspire me, right? Their mindset is different, you know? Like Kanye, he's a madman, but man tried being the president.
Good on him.
Do you know what I mean? But like,
God bless his soul.
You can't, although it's like, everyone thinks he's like crazy, right? For the stuff that he's doing. But for someone that's accomplished so much, when is not trying something, when is trying not being cool? Do you know what I mean? So like, which is why anyone that's listening to this, like whatever you want to do, like whatever you think that you can't even do, just do it. Cause like, because when you do stuff that really make you uncomfortable, the cliff. that's where the element of growth, like I think comes from. You know, I don't know.
Because I walk through that cliff every day, and every time I walk through it, I'm like, no, this I'm doing this so comfortably and easy, but for some people, this is a big challenge. Like, good on you, Charles.
Right, so for people that don't know, that haven't listened to the other episode I did with Charles, I don't even know if I mentioned it in that one. Do you want to tell him the story, Charles? What happened that day?
Yeah.
You tell him.
All right,
tell him.
All right. So it was during second second psychedelic experience. We were all in my lounge room, hanging out. It's the same lounge room I'm in now. It's a beautiful space. And then afterwards, we're like, oh, let's go for a walk. Now, I took him to this spot that I usually go to meditate. It's like right on the cliffs of the ocean. And it's like right on the edge of the cliff. It's like a sheer drop down. It's like if you fall down, you're dead. It's very steep. And anyway, so there's a part to get to the cliff edge where you kind of have to walk along this bridge. And the bridge is like made out of rocks. And on either side of the bridge, it's just like a sheer drop straight down. If you fall down, you're gone. That's it.
But it's not like a thin bit of rock. It's like it's
pretty thick.
It's like it's not dangerous if you just walk straight. Like,
no, it's not. Like to be honest, I'm selling it a bit more dangerously because I could do that with my stories a lot. But, bro, I saw this tiger. It was huge. It almost killed me. It was probably like a meter and a bit wide.
Yeah.
And then we all started walking. There was like 6 of us or something like that, 5, 6 of us. We all walked along and everyone's like doing it, no dramas. And then we're all like getting to the next point, which in my opinion is even scarier. It's like you got to climb up this thing, and we're all looking back and we're just seeing Darren on the other side of the bridge, and he's like hugging himself and like he's like shaking and shit. And it's like, this is what he said. I'll never forget. He goes, don't worry about me, bruv. You do you. You do you. You guys do you. I'll catch up with you guys later. And he even turned around and was like about to start walking. But then, and then I was like, it's okay, bro. Like, I get it. Like, you know, it's a bit scary, but you'll be okay. And then I remember James goes, I think he called you like a bitch or something.
No. Yeah. And then I just went flying. Yeah.
He goes, and then you just like walked across and you got to the end of the bridge and you were holding on your heart, just like breathing in and out heavily.
But you know what? It was mad because we've done that like before. You and me have done that before, right? We've gone on that cliff edge, right? And I didn't feel nothing, right? But that time it was like a passage through my life. It was like passage through trauma. I don't know what it was, but I was like, ooh, why am I holding back here? I feel mad vulnerable right now.
It's cool because sorry,
go on. No, you go. I know what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say, like with psychedelic experiences, or even experiences that you can that are all around us in every present moment in time. Like there are so many like metaphors that are like around us. Like for example, I can look at the weather changing, and I can be like, that's energy doing its thing from the yin to the yang. It's just the way everything is. And then that takes me into my emotions to be like, it's okay to feel sad sometimes, because feeling sad sometimes means that I'm going to feel happy. Like everything's a metaphor. And particularly with psychedelic experiences, like once a lot of the experiences that a lot of people have recalled where they've gained a lot of life-changing experience was when they faced like a entity, like a demonic thing, but then they faced it and they overcame it. And then by overcoming that, something which is really scary in that moment doesn't exist. You're not like, the demon isn't actually there, or the bridge that you were crossing wasn't actually that dangerous, but it's how you perceived it to be. And because you perceived it to be so scary and you overcame that, that means that moving forward after that point, all these things that probably used to scare you on the same level or a bit lower or a bit higher, you're going to be more fucking courageous to be able to face it.
Exactly. And that's why it was like so brilliantly crazy. Something so small meant so much. You know, and it just shows, like, once you get over those like specific fears and you can apply it to everything else, it's just
big time, bro.
The mind is a crazy thing, right? And I think,
brother, most unbelievable technology ever in this universe, the brain. I did a video about it yesterday. It's like everyone updates their phones, their laptops, you know, their headphones and stuff like that. But when it comes to their mind, we're so stuck in this belief that it's like, oh, but this is just who I've always been. You know, I can't change. It's just the way it is. But we quickly update our fucking Facebook application. But when it comes to our mind and updating our programming, there's resistance towards it. And all the resistance is the emotion. You got to feel that emotion. You got to feel that fear. Yeah. That's like now, this whole thing that's going on with lockdown, brother, the biggest thing that's arising with people is fear. Fear of whatever it is, fear of COVID, fear of losing their business, fear of what the vaccine's going to do to their body, fear if China's taken over the world, all these different things that everyone's fearing right now. And it's that fear that you got to face, and you got to tell yourself at the end of the day of it that everything is going to be okay, because every single one of our ancestors has been through shit like this before, thousands of times. How long does that ancestry line go for? Millions of years, bro. Millions of years, back when we were like different animals, if you believe in that sort of stuff. But if we're going to go with humans, hundreds of thousands of years. Think about all the stuff that they went through. Ice age. Oh, I don't know if we're going to survive. Oh, there's a famine. There's a genocide. There's a war. Like, in that moment, when the time comes where you got to make a decision, just put trust in yourself that you'll know what to do.
And you know what? And I think the mad crazy thing is, right? And some people that are listening to this might be in this state of mind. And this is why I think you should try to evolve, try to learn these things and be healthier. When someone's mindset, mental health is healthy, right? There's a big correlation with your physical health also being healthy with that. As well as the most important thing, your immune system being healthy, not from your physical fitness, but from your mental health. If you notice, if you know, I know you like this shit, innit? I know you like this shit, innit? Yeah, so do I. But I can only get into this sort of conversation with certain people. That's why I wanted to chat to you again, you know. But there's you tend to see the same people that get sick over and over again are the same people. Sick, again, sick, ill, got the flu, got COVID. What you doing? I'm in fucking hospital. I'm in this. I don't even think that's a physical thing. I think that's the mental state that they're in is not healthy, and their body is consistently giving up on them because they're not fucking looking after themselves, you know? And I think it's such an issue. What do you think about it? Do you agree with that?
Brother, I'm just going to get a fucking big rocket launcher out with all this information. You ready?
Yeah, go.
All right. So bringing it back to energy, masculine, feminine energy, doing, control, thinking. Being in a high level state of that, we would call chronic stress. Now, if we're going to, on scientific terms, different vibrations of energy, yin is the parasympathetic nervous system. Yang is the sympathetic nervous system. Yang is the doing, the masculine energy. Now, what happens when you're in your masculine energy? Your body is mobilizing energy, sending it to dilate your pupils so that you're focusing on a certain spot so that you can see more clearly. It's sending energy all into your muscles so that your muscles can run faster, fight and attack. It's increasing your heart rate, it's increasing your blood pressure so that It's pumping all the oxygen and all the nutrients into your muscles so that you can run away faster. That's what being in the masculine energy looks like. That's what being in the sympathetic nervous system looks like. That's where majority of your energy is being sent to short-term acute stresses. That's what it was evolved for. Fight, flight, or freeze. We've all heard about this, okay?
Yeah.
Now, parasympathetic nervous system, the yin. This is when your body is mobilizing energy for all the longer-term building projects. Things like regenerating your cells, boosting up your immune system, regenerating your sexual reproductive system. If you're a woman, making sure that your periods are good and you're growing the egg and you're fertile and your libido's high. If you're a guy, making sure that your sperm count's good, your libido's good, your sex drive is healthy. Another thing as well, your digestive system. Sending all this energy to digest food properly so that you can break down all the nutrients and then send it into your body so that you're healthy as well. So what happens if you're so dominant in the masculine energy, in the sympathetic nervous system, on average, you've got less energy being sent into your body's amazing, unbelievable healing system. So what happens then? Your body starts to shut down. You start getting digestive issues. You start getting sexual reproductive issues. This is another thing with women that are so heavy in their masculine energy. A lot of them actually struggle to have a baby.
Yeah.
They struggle to have a baby because their body is in fight or flight so much.
Yeah.
It's like your brain thinks like, oh, whoa, wait a second. We're going through some stressful shit. Now isn't the time to have a baby.
Yeah.
Now ain't the time to have a baby, Immune system, you're getting sick regularly. It's kind of like if I was going to use the analogy of like a country, it's like a country that's spending all of its money on like military, on defense. And all the money that would benefit the country to go into like education, healthcare, infrastructure, it's depleting. So internally in the country starts to crumble.
Bruv, you know what? I'm gonna fire back at that as well. There's like the thing, because like the whole stress thing is so important. And like from say a training perspective, as well as linking to mental health, you have eustress and you have de-stress. You have the eustress, which is anabolic, which is good, and you have the de-stress, which is catabolic, which is bad. But the important thing is the stress that you provide has to be good stress, so it's controlled, so it can help you with growth, but like not really discomfort. This is the same thing when people are doing it when they're trying to overload with their muscles to grow muscle tissue. And it's the same when you're overloading with your mental health, because when you overload and go through stressful times and you overcome these fears and these times, you become a stronger person. Therefore, you're managing the stress very well. But like you said, if you're going through too much distress, you're going through like a really catabolic phase. Like you said, you're going to break down, you're going to get ill, you're going to be exhausted, you're going to be fatigued. You're just going to burn the fuck out and then wonder why the hell you're doing this. And it's so important because this affects your sleep so much, which then affects your mental health in such a way where you can't, it's very hard for you to come out of that until you accept the fact that you're doing too much. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is the most important thing people need to pay attention to, because once we pay attention to this, right, managing your stress properly, then you can apply that management to training, to work, to relationships, to meditation, to, and this is why I think I've got it good, bruv. I love my life. I feel like I've got that well, which is what I'm trying to do with all my clients, trying to look at the long game. Look at the long balance, fam. Balance. Balance.
That's what it's all about, bro. And just touching on that a bit more, it's the way that energy will rebalance itself. It's like if you're so dominant in the masculine energy, it's not sustainable. If it's like the same thing with gym. If you're applying so much masculine energy with gym and work and all this stuff, and you're just overly stressing yourself physically and mentally, and it's getting to the point where it's like, hey, you're a bathtub, the water going into the bathtub is stress, and then the bathtub starts overfilling. You got no choice but to then flick the switch off the tap and just be like, all right, we need to start taking some water out of this bathtub. So what happens then when it's overflowing? That's when you get sick. That's when you have a mental breakdown. That's when everything's just getting too much. That's when I don't want to see anyone. That's when I'm taking a day off work. That's when I'm not motivated to go to the gym. That's when these sort of experiences start to arise. And what that is it's a message for you to listen. Your body is telling you, hey, chill out. This isn't, you're not treating me the way that, I've been evolved to be treated right now. And when it comes into breaking that cycle down, because it's a loop, you go into this stage of real heavy masculine energy, dominant masculine energy, then you go into dominant feminine energy, chaos, like, oh, I can't do anything. I just need a rest for a week. You know what I mean? Like, you go in these loops, there's something driving that loop. And what's driving it? Deep subconscious beliefs. And a lot of them, if they're not serving you, are going to be revolved around either you not feeling good enough, you're not feeling worthy, you're not feeling safe and secure. And as a result of you not feeling worthy, your way of trying to feel worthy is be like, okay, well, if I'm going to be worthy, I got to destroy myself at the gym. If I want to be worthy, I got to smash myself at work, working like 14 hours a day without any sustainability. Why else would someone be putting themselves under that much stress? Because for them, feeling worthy creates security. It creates, okay, now I can be present now. Now I can be here because I'm worthy. But the only way that you're going to believe to be worthy is not once you've achieved something, not once you've lost all this weight, not once you've made $50 million or anything like that. Because we see time and time again, people lose the weight, people make the money, and they're still miserable. Where it's going to come from is within.
Fucking love this shit, bruv. I
love Tony
this
Robbins shit.
Yeah, bro. It's so good. It's so good because when you find, because the problem is, right, when people talk about this stuff, some guys are just too corny, man. So when you come with the right balance of like being real and like us being real with who we are, people that listen to this go, you know what, fair play. Like, I can relate to these guys more because we're not trying to preach, you're just talking, right?
Way.
Which is
talking from fucking experience. I was that guy.
Yeah,
I was that guy, bro. Killing myself didn't believe I was good enough. Running on all my childhood trauma. I was that guy too. And the reason why I'm saying with so much fucking conviction is because I understand it. I understand if you're going through that, I get it. I completely understand that it's challenging. It's hard. It's not easy, and it's not even easy to see it or be aware of it. It's just running on autopilot in the background. You don't even know it's there.
Agree. And this is, this is the perfect time to talk a little bit about, I think, the benefits of meditation and how we can get people to meditate a little bit more. Because I started meditating daily. I said, when I got to Oz with Lucy Lord was holding me accountable every morning, sunrise. I was at that cliff edge meditating with her. But I was finding it hard to tap in exactly where I'm supposed to go, right? I didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted to be consistent because I think the only way to get better at something is by practicing, which is why you practice meditation, right? So, and obviously after that trip, I had a few lines, a few dots connected to get to a level of depth that now I can really get to when I'm just chilling there, listening to my boy Hans Zimmer. You know what I mean?
What a man.
I'm tapping into. So what advice would you give to people that are struggling to understand what meditation is or how they even get into it?
Good question, bro. I'd love to share that. All right. So meditation, it's first of all, it's important to check in with yourself and see what your expectations are of meditation, because expectations are going to do nothing but just get in the way of your meditation experience. Some people may have expectations like, when you meditate, everything just goes black. When you meditate, you just have no thoughts. When you meditate, like, you're just there in that moment. You just click and bang, you're there. Like, a lot of people have very unrealistic expectations with meditation, and all the expectation does. And what is an expectation? An expectation is a thought of the future. So having a thought of the future is not going to assist you in being present. It's only going to put you into the future. So my advice, first things first, is to work on, while you're going through your meditation, just reducing the expectations. Again, don't expect yourself to not have any expectations straight away. It's going to take a bit of time to start reducing those expectations. That's number one. Number two, it's important to understand that there's no right or wrong in meditation. Right or wrong is beliefs. We believe something to be right. We believe something to be wrong. Our beliefs are in our subconscious. Our beliefs are stories. When we're present in the moment, there's no stories. So nothing is right or wrong. So everything that you're doing in the meditation experience is what it is. There's no right or wrong. So it's so my advice then would be to remove any sort of expectations on how the experience, I'm not doing it right. A lot of people generally say that. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. If you just got rid of that noise, rid of that judgment, you'd be there, you'd be present.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest struggle with meditation, is just being okay with being present and just removing all of these programs around like perfectionism, judgment, high expectations, all these things. It's really just removing all that noise, all that programming. That's when you find, oh, I'm here. It's kind of like a process of going through removing, like consciously removing these programs in a scenario where you're just sitting or laying, that then you can apply to other areas of your life where you may be putting high expectations and judgment on yourself. It's like by you learning how to remove all these expectations and judgments on yourself in the form of meditation, you can then do it with gym. You can take away all these judgment. Oh, I ate carbs. Oh, I expect myself to lose 10 kilos in 5 weeks. Like by practicing it consciously in a certain setting, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, you can then carry that same mindset, that same practice into other areas of your life. So that's what's so fucking beautiful about meditation. It teaches you how to be more present in general.
You know what, bro? Since I've been meditating more and being more mindful of my mind, my time, and what I do, it's very weird. In the mornings, I've been moving slower, but actually faster. Whereas before, I'd get up 5 a.m., laptop, or this or that. But now I'm like, you know what? Nothing's getting done until I go for my walk, grab my coffee, meditate, and then start my day. And you start your day with such a clearer mind, a clearer state. The tasks that you wanted to rush to get done more efficiently and quicker and better. That was the biggest thing for me, right? But I think people should think about, because it's consciously removing those thoughts is quite difficult and challenging, right? Especially if you've done that all your life, right? Anyone listen to this, I would like you to think of it as like, on your phone, when you have loads of tabs out on your iPhone and you're clearing them one by one. And sometimes there's so many there that it's hard for you to clear straight away. You shut your phone, you open it, you clear it again, you shut your phone, you clear it again. Once you clear all those tabs and your phone is just there, or your laptop with like an empty desktop, it's like the stress is now less because there's less clutter. So when there's less clutter in your thoughts and you've consciously removed that clutter, the way you think of things just become a fucking madness, bro.
Being present is really cool. And a way I like to explain it for people that first start meditating, because I get a lot of people that I coach online. I do guided meditations with them, and a lot of people that suffer from very high level anxiety and stress and going through the brunt of their start of their spiritual awakening. Is just to explain it is like, imagine you're standing on the side of a road, and beside the road you've got all these cars driving past. The cars that are driving past, you've got nice cars and you've got cars that aren't so nice. The cars that aren't so nice, they've got like fumes coming out of the exhaust pipe. They're all dirty, a bit rusty. The driver's just smoking ciggies and, all sweaty and dirty. And then the nice cars, real smooth, latest model cars. There's someone that you'd find very attractive in the front seat. Now you're standing right beside it, and notice that at the beginning, you're very aware of each car. You're looking at every car. That's this model. Yeah, that's that number plate. That person looks like this. This is how people treat their thoughts. They're very aware of every single thought, and they like analyze every single thought. And what they can do is they can experience a thought, and then it's kind of like they step into the car and the car takes them for a drive. And next thing they know, they're in this smelly car. It's dirty. And they're like, oh, what does it mean? Why am I in this car? It's rather than just accepting them all as thoughts, no matter if they're negative or positive, just letting them all drive past. The same way that if you're standing on the road in reality, you just let all these cars drive past, because there's no such thing as every car is going to be perfect. There's no such thing as every car is going to be beaten up and destroyed, unless you're in, like, I don't know, New Delhi or something like that. I throw that in there. But then it's just allowing your thoughts to pass through your mind without trying to stop them, without going in front of the car and be like, hey man, stop driving. Like, you shouldn't be here. You're a bad car. Go turn around. Like, just let all of them drive past, but go into it with a lot more acceptance that your thoughts aren't you. So when you're meditating, it might be a bit noisy, very busy road, and you're standing right next to the road and very aware of each car. But then over time, you start stepping further and further and further back from the road to the point where you can barely see the cars. You just see this road and there's like some little things moving in the distance. But then instead of looking at that, you're looking what's behind that. What's behind that? Beautiful sunset with all these mountains. And you're like, wow, and the thoughts are still there, just flowing through, but you're not feeding so much energy into it. You're looking at what you
have control. Which you have control, right? And that is
correct.
That is one of the hardest things. And it's mad because I see so many people like create stress after stress by not doing stuff like this, you know? And my way of meditating before was me going for a walk on my own, right? And there's forms of meditation where you can walk and listen to the birds and just walk without your phone and pay attention to what's actually happening when you're walking instead of looking down at your phone. Or even, like, I like to go for a walk and listen to a podcast, but sometimes it's nice not to just listen to anything. It's just nice to stroll and just focus on your breathing and shit, right? You know?
You're such a hippie, bro. Never thought you'd be saying this shit. I love it, bro.
Darren got woke. My man are never going to be broke. You're laughing because you remember it, me at George Street.
Yeah.
And, hey, bro, you see that girl, bro?
Yeah. Oh, bro, I was doing it with you too, bro.
Yeah, I was doing it. It's funny. But you know what? It's people. You should just meditate, man. Like, it's force the meditation at first, and once that clutter just slowly fades away, and people think, listen, when you first meditate, just like training, when you first go to the gym, you don't go bench press 100 kilos in it. You hit the pin loading machine. You don't go and do 10 minutes of meditation straight away. Do a minute, do 30 seconds, then progressively overload to 2 minutes, maybe the next week, but do it every single day. Repeat it. Don't make it a chore in the task. Get it done first thing. So it's the one more thing ticked off the list. Sometimes, you know, sometimes there's been a couple of days where I've missed out 1 or 2 days, right? And I can feel my brain overloading, right? So when I get into meditation again, I close my eyes, right? And I swear to God, my eyes start blinking a little bit because it's like overload. Yeah. And it's dealing with that overload. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah. Sometimes my eyes are rolling at the back of my head and I'm going like this and I'm doing right next to the beach. People are walking past me and I'm there having a little experience.
You're like, whoa, what's that guy on, bro?
I love it, bro. Like the deeper I'm getting into meditation, the more I'm experiencing a lot of these like metaphorical type visualizations, which is awesome. It's like you're tapping into another field, and it's important for everyone listening right now who's just kind of getting into it to don't have that expectation. Yeah. Don't even think like that stuff even happens. Just focus on what your intention is behind performing meditation. What's your intention? It's like I can sit here and say that, you know, I was at the gym and, you know, when I used to train at the gym, I used to deadlift 250 kilos. And for someone that's just about to step into the gym, there's no point. Like, what's the reason for them needing to hear that about gym? For them, just by them focusing on their intention, it's I'm going to the gym to become a better person.
Yeah. And like you said,
same thing with your meditation.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said before, no perfect way. You can do it to music. You can do it to no music. You can do guided. You can do it shutting your eyes and listening to me and Charles talk. You know, there is.
That's right.
You know what? So I was in Portsmouth. I was on a friend's boat, right? And I was just chilling in the back on my own. And sometimes when I'm doing it, I just have these moments, even when I'm sitting in an Uber sometimes or whatever, I just shut my eyes, bro. I don't time it. You don't have to time it. No. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a schedule. You can be on the bus ride to work and you can just take a moment and close your eyes and be 100%. Alone with your thoughts. And you know what I mean?
There's no rules.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before, when you're present, you're in control, which is true. But for you to be in control, you have to get rid of needing to be in control. You have to get rid of trying to be in control. It's like for you to gain control and see what's actually there in front of you in reality, you had to step away and let go of trying to control the cars, trying to let go of stop signs and like, hey, what's your name? Have you got your latest registration? You got to just let go of that. Let go of control, because your desire to control will control you. But by you letting go of control, that's when you gain the control that you want. And control is just a word. What does gaining control really mean? Well, it means for some people, just peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peace. And go on, bro.
No, go on. Finish.
And I was going to say, it's the desire for control that takes us away from peace, because it's that desire that we search so hard, you know, that next dopamine hit, you know, that next achievement, that next, you know, that the food to eat, or, you know, like that next scrolling on social media. What video am I going to see that's going to stimulate me? It's like we're trying to control how we feel so much. When we just let go of trying to control those things, we'll get what we really want, which is peace and love and fucking here I am.
Yeah, exactly. No, and you know what? Every person that I've met, and we all want success. We want happiness. We want success. We all, even if people don't admit it, everyone wants love, whether it's a form of from a male, female, friendship, family. We all want to be loved, happy, successful 100%. In what we do and love what we do with work, right?
We all want to be worthy. We all want to be loved, and we all want to be enough. 100%.
Exactly. And one thing I've been seeing now over and over again, every successful person that I know, every like mentor, someone that I've looked up to, whether it's business, athletes, and well, these people meditate. Like you even look at UFC fighters like Adesanya, Conor McGregor, bruv, there's clips of them just meditating by the water. There's the Tony Robbins, the this and the that. And I'm not trying to be these people, but if anyone that is at some level of success must be doing something right. And all these people have a level of discipline, consistency, giving value, you know, and if they're meditating to obviously become a better version of themselves, then it must be, you know what, I just can't believe I didn't know about this more before. Like it hasn't been spoken about because not enough.
I hear you, bro.
Not enough cool, I guess, not enough influencing people are talking about, which is why I want people to hear this more and more, because
awesome, man.
Just made man a happier person, I guess. Nicer. No, I'm definitely nicer, I reckon.
Bro, you're just a better version of who you're, just closer to who you really are, bro.
Yeah, fair. Stripping that ego, innit?
That's it, bruv. 100%, brother. Because when you're present, there's no ego. You're just there in the moment and you're seeing reality for what it is, man. And that the thing with the ego, it's an interesting topic. It's like, you know, we've all got an ego. Ego isn't bad. Ego has a bit of a bad reputation. And a lot of people just throw out the word ego, just like they'll see someone like in a gym lifting heavy weights, looking all buff and, you know, looking all a bit rowdy and stuff. And they'll be like, look at this guy. This guy's got a big ego. But it's like you judging that person is your ego coming out. You know what I mean? Or someone who's scared to go to the gym because they're scared of, you know, other people judging them. That's their ego doing that. Yeah. Some people who's really like, I don't want to go to the gym. It's really, that's their ego too. So your ego is really just like a compiled up bunch of beliefs and values and your sense of identity. It's just essentially a bunch of stories. It's like me holding a book next to me. And it's like in this book, These are all the rules and all the things that I believe to be true about me. And I go into reference into this book and I use it to guide me through reality. The problem is people connect this book to who they are so much. A lot of people also believe that this book is finished. It's finalized. It can't change. You can't go into it and change some of the words and rub some things out and add on to it. Our ego, which is really just our habitual life experience, it's just subconscious programming. If we had to consciously make every decision in our life, oh my God, it would use up so much energy. Luckily, our brain has evolved a way in order to just operate itself on autopilot so that you don't have to think about like, okay, when I go to the bathroom, these muscles activate and this is how far away I have to stand from it. And then afterwards, just automatically go wash your hands. Like if we had to consciously think about all these things, it would take like so much longer to do everything.
Yeah.
So our ego, we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ability. This is how we construct our reality, to go into our ego and change what we want to change that isn't serving us. If we're high stress, if we're experiencing a reality that isn't serving us, if we're scared and fearful of all these things that we really want to do, and if we're saying I can't with all these things, well, these are all the rules that you wrote in here. You got to go in there and you got to change that. And that's why deep work is so important. That's why going in and healing trauma and doing inner child work, that's all the stuff I'm doing now. And it's the changes is like bang after like 6 weeks. People that are super high stress, like getting health issues, like a woman, for example, she had like endometriosis from high stress, didn't speak to her family for 10 years. After 6 weeks, completely changed. Life flipped around, more present, more grateful, so much more love for herself. Just going straight to the source makes such a big difference. So I believe it should definitely be a part of everyone's life, doing that work.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. I agree with that. And this isn't coming from because like this stuff could be misleading. Meditation cures cancer. Meditation has done this isn't that. This is being all round healthy. You charge up your iPhone, you charge your laptop, you go to the gym, you charge up that body, you charge up their muscles. Charge up that motherfucking brain, motherfuckers. top that shit up. Top it up, man. Top it up.
100%.
But bruv, I don't know how long we've been talking, but this has been a fucking great episode. What time is it in Oz?
8. It's like almost 8:30 p.m. at night.
Amazing. Charles, thank you for coming on again. This was great.
Bro, I enjoyed it, man. There was a deep conversation. I knew we're going to get deep straight away.
Straight in, bruv. Straight in.
And you know what, bro? It's a very different podcast from the last one. Like it's cool. Very different topics.
Very different. And I want people to, the last one we did, a lot of people, man, I got really good messages from that last podcast we did. And a lot of people related to it because a lot of people, I think we're very blessed with what we do for work, right? Even personal training itself, like being self-employed personal trainers, we have the freedom to structure our life, right? So, and I think with that, we can explore, and which we have explored, different avenues and made us more, I guess, skillful in other places. And when people hear this from us, because we've took the time to do that, they can relate and go, fuck, this is exactly what I was feeling. And it enlightens them and hopefully inspires them to do it for themselves. Because I guess the more you give, the more you give out this information, the more you help out people, the world ends up being a better fucking place, bro. And it's just better for you.
Bro.
Do you know what I mean? It's
as
simple as that, yeah.
I agree, bro. And that's what the world needs right now, man. It needs lots of love, connection, people going deeper within, so they're not hating on each other or creating stress in their life. That's only going to cripple their health. Just more love, more love, more love. It's what creates the balance back 100%. That the world needs.
Charles, could you tell them where they can find you, big man?
Brother.
What's your Instagram?
Instagram is Charles and last name is Myssy, MYSSY. If you have any questions, if you just wanted to give me some feedback on how you found the episode, I'd love to hear it. If you want to know anything more about meditation, I'm happy to answer any questions that you got or any of the deep sort of work. And I just wanted to say, I absolutely love the conversation. I really had a lot of fun, bro. It's actually given me a lot of beautiful energy now and just like reminded me a lot of things that are very important to me right now that's helping me just continue to help people throughout this lockdown and helping people with their health, bro. So thank you, Darren, for giving me the opportunity and creating that space for me to do that, bro. And yeah, man, looking forward to the next time we catch up.
Sick. Guys, thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Share this with people that you think that will need this, because I really think this could help so many people. From Mystic Charles and Mystic Mirren, peace and love, and I'll catch you guys soon.
Peace. Love you guys.
Peace.
All the best.